Hi, this is Anthony with Vapehead Reviews here at Vapehead. I'm going to do a review of the new iTaste VTR from Innokin. If you have not seen this particular mod before, which I'm sure you have, this is a serious piece of equipment. Serious piece of equipment. This is the iTaste VTR. You see it says the iTaste right there, and on the back of it, it says taste it, love it. And I do taste it, and I do love it. This is the best vaporizer mod you can get your hands on. Seriously. It comes with an iClear 30S tank. The tank is not glass like most. The tank is actually acrylic, which is nice. You don't have to worry about it breaking as easily as the glass. Of course, with it being acrylic, you still have to be careful about not putting anything citrus inside the tank, because this tank is not glass. It won't work with citrus juices. So you still got to avoid the citrus juices with this particular tank. This is going to be a somewhat lengthy review because this monster is seriously badass. There's just no other way to put it. It comes with the drip tip, which has the rotating head, which is really nice. You can put it in any position you want it. If you look here, you'll see the display. That shows you the ohms that I'm running. That shows you that I'm running it in variable voltage mode, 4.5. Now if I do that again and press it one more time, that shows you that I'm now running it on power wattage 5.0. Let me put it back on where I had it. There we go. Now, here's how you do that. You have a little button right up here. This wheel turns. So, let me show you. You press the button. There's your ohms, and you can move that button clockwise or counterclockwise, and it'll raise or lower your number. And it'll do the same thing on the power. There's 5, there's 3, there's 6. It goes all the way down to 3.0 in watts, and all the way up to 15 watts. Now, I'll show you what it does for volts. In voltage, it goes all the way up to 6, and it goes all the way down to 3. And of course, you get to pick whichever one you want. I like running it on 4.5 on the voltage setting. So right here's your power, which also controls your vaping, but I'll show you the power. Click it 3 times, not 5. You click it 3. 1, 2, 3. Off. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. On. Isn't that cool? It's a lot easier to pull it off. This particular mod, excuse me, is the heaviest thing I have ever held in my hand. It's huge. I mean, you can see my hand. Now here's the mod. It's a monster, but it's worth it. Now, a little bit more on the tank. Let me show you what you get here. When you buy this, of course, and depending on where you get it from, depends on exactly how much you're going to pay. Most of the time, you can find them pretty decently priced on like eBay and other sites. And a little caution on it. If you do buy one off of eBay, I'm not getting anybody bad reps for selling them on eBay. 99% of the time, unless it shows a battery and a charger coming with the product, you're not going to get a battery or a charger for this thing. When you buy it, you should get a instruction manual, and trust me, it's not that thick. It actually comes in about 5 languages, I think. It comes in English, Spanish, French, German, Russian, Italian, and 2 others that I'm not real sure. It does come with the verification tag, so you can verify that it is a true Innokin iTaste. The English part of the instruction manual is actually only that thick. The rest of it is the other languages, so no worries there. It's not huge. It does give you quick rundowns on exactly what to do on how to work it. Now, I'm not going to pull the battery out of mine, but I will show you how to do that here in a moment. First, I want to show you the battery. This is the battery. It only takes one, but suggestively buy 2 batteries and a charger. Whether you get a charger that'll do 2 batteries at the same time, or whether you get one that'll only charge 1 battery, that's your choice. But these particular batteries are really, really good. They're 3600 mAh, I believe. They are the NCR 18650B. They're unprotected. That's the catch. You have to make sure that the batteries that you get are unprotected. These are Li-ions, but they are unprotected batteries. What that means is that they have absolutely no circuit breakers in them. They won't kill off if they get a little too hot. This thing has got a computer inside of it. That's the reason you got the whole LED readout. If anything goes wrong with the battery, it will cut itself off. It'll shut down. It's got all kind of built-in little bells and whistles. It's really, really nice. You also get, of course, the lovely iTaste carrying case, which is custom fit to fit only the iTaste VTR. Now, this little jewel here, keep it out of there, there we go, is the extender. And this will come off. A lot of people think it doesn't, but that particular little beauty ring right there does come off. And there's a use of this beauty ring. Don't take it off. There's a use for this thing. You can see the little indentions in it. There are only actually 2 holes that go straight through, but this thing has 2 breathing holes on each, one on each side, that allows it to suck in a little bit more air than it normally would. Put that there back on now. I'll show you how this right here works. The tank is real simple to come off. I like the fact that it's got the metal band around it. And by the way, this is all steel, so it's extremely heavy. But the tank has its own little holder right there, and you can see it just makes it very compact, easy to carry in your pocket or carry in your purse. But you got to make sure that it is standing upright, because this is a top feeder tank, not a bottom feeder tank. And I'll show you that in a second too. It's real simple to get this off. There we go. See? That's all it is. That's what you got. Alright, let me put that off to the side, and you can see that this is a dual coil, by the way, atomizer inside there, and I'll show you what it looks like here. I've still got one. It's in the bag, but you can kind of still see exactly what it looks like pretty much. If I get that to stand that well, I'll just put it right there. Heck with it. There we go. And you can see the atomizer inside there, I think. That's a dual coil atomizer. The threads, or the wick, are inside the metal casing instead of them being hanging outside the metal casing. which actually allows it to, in my personal opinion, vape a lot better, really. This, like I said, comes apart at the top. Unscrew it, and that's how you load it. See right here, load in between the little metal ring and your acrylic tank. Whatever you do, don't get it in the middle, right there in that little hole. Don't feed it in there, because that's where your vapor comes from. This is totally removable, and then this part also breaks down, so you can replace your drip tip if you want. There you go, and there's your drip tip. So it does come off. Also, like I've said in another video before, anytime that you have something go wrong with your drip tips, even though it doesn't seem logical, the little rubber band right here, keep those, and keep any of the caps that come off of your old atomizers, the little rubber pieces that are on your atomizers, keep those. Seriously, you have no clue how handy they come in sometimes to fix little quirks that are going on sometimes with different stuff. Now, as far as this thing having an issue, the iTaste does not have an issue that I'm aware of yet. It's got a whole lot of pluses and very, very few minuses. About the only minus that I could give it is, if you look right in there, you can see the hole for your vapor to go through. It's very, very tiny. It's not huge. But if your local vape shop happens to have guys that work on this stuff, which some do, some don't, you can probably take it before you walk out with it, or later on down the line you could go back in there and see if they can take and drill the hole just a little bit bigger so you can get a little bit more vapor. But otherwise, this thing's perfect. I mean, seriously, it has no downsides to it. It really doesn't. It'll stand up on its own. It's not like the little round ones where you gotta have a stand for it in case you're getting up from the table and you bump it so it doesn't fall over. This thing's not going to fall over unless you slap it. Now, to give you a little rundown on this piece before I go on a little bit further into it, if you look right here, you can see those holes. That's air vents for the battery. Because if the battery gets too hot, you've got a problem. Down here at the bottom where the battery goes in, again, it has air holes so that the battery can get air. And the battery goes in, you just you can see the little switch right here, right there. You just pull that down and the battery just pops right out. Now, I'll show you how the battery goes in. This, with the black band at the top, because you can see the bottom there, see there's no black band, but at the top you can see it's got a little black band there. It also, of course, has the little thing up here that says positive, negative. Your positive is always the part with the black band at the top. That goes in first. Black band right in there. Push it down, it's in. It will run through its own little thing once you put it back in. And now it's on and ready to go. This extension goes in just like that, and the nice thing is, this thing, with it having the guide on it, keeps you from cross-threading a whole lot, which is real nice. And then of course you can put your tank on top of that. Now here's where the breathe holes come in handy. The iTaste 30 has slits at the bottom of it, the little air vents. Let me show those to you real quick. You can see the slits right there. It does have the little air vent slices in the bottom of the tank to allow air in. And then of course this beauty ring has the holes in it to allow air in as well. And that's what it looks like with the extension. The extension is for one purpose. If you happen to try to use a tank that will not fit inside here, you can put the extension on and you can run any tank you want to run. Doesn't matter. I personally prefer running tanks that'll actually fit inside it because it makes it less hard to carry around and it's a little less gawky, because with the tank sticking up, it's just a huge piece of equipment to try to lug around. But that's just my personal preference on it. You guys do it however you want to do it. Now, a lot of people think this probably has something of a function, and it does not turn. You can see it's got the little grooves on it. It looks like it's a wheel that moves. It actually doesn't. This thing does not turn at all. But it does have air vents sliced in it, which of course coordinate with the air vents that are on the bottom of the tank, which allow for plenty of airflow. Now I'll give you a little example of how well this works. I just got through doing a review for Mount Baker Vapor red ice, and that's what I've got in the tank. And we'll see how well this little puppy works, and I'll show you how well it goes. So ooh, minty. I have nothing bad to say about this thing. I mean, seriously, this is the heaviest mod I have ever picked up in my life. Now, iTaste already has a different one out that looks like a hand grenade that they call the grenade. Suggestively, if you get one of those, don't try to take it through the airport. This thing, on the other hand, you might want to be a little cautious about it too, because it is a huge piece of machinery, and if you drop it, it's going to hurt whatever it hits. So, you know, seriously, be careful with it. But it's got all kinds of bells and whistles to it. It's a great piece of machinery. Innokin definitely knows what they're doing when they're putting these things together. I have not had issue one out of it, and I doubt I will. But another thing, if you do buy the Innokin, one thing you might want to keep in mind, if the dealer you're buying it from, like your local vape shop or whatever, if the dealer you're getting it from happens to not be a licensed Innokin seller or a licensed Innokin dealer, that's not a big deal. But if they are a licensed dealer of Innokin products, definitely be sure to buy it from them. Getting it from anybody else means that if something goes wrong with this thing, you've got to track down somebody who either knows how to work on them, or you've got to send them back to Innokin. And Innokin is all the way in China. So, or you've got to find a vape shop that does have guys who will work on them, and probably cost you a pretty penny to get it done. Because this thing is, like I said, is fully electronic. This has been a lengthy review, I know, but I just wanted to kind of give a quick, somewhat in-depth rundown of exactly how this thing works. It is a great piece of equipment. Out of 10 stars for Innokin, I would give them a 9 on this thing. They do put out a different one that's stainless steel in color. It kind of looks like silver. It's real easy to scratch that particular one because of the finish. This one is the olive green camo version. Excellent piece. I don't care if it is green. It looks great. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is a great piece. Innokin, you did a great job. Keep on vaping.